This is Mirabella's Kitchen, and today I'm making chicken fricassee, or as I like to call it, Lincoln's chicken. If you'd like to cook with me, please check the description below for a list of the ingredients and a shout out to my Patreon. This meal is in honor of Abraham Lincoln's birthday this week. This was said to be his favorite meal, and I'm making a modernized version of it. I start by taking a 12-ounce package of cremini mushrooms, removing the stems and quartering them. I take a medium yellow onion and dice it. I'm taking a huge risk by dicing it without my trusty goggles. And the onion got me in the end. If you are a vegetarian or vegan or find cutting meat something that makes you uncomfortable, I really recommend skipping ahead a minute. I take one whole chicken and I remove it from the package and dry it with a paper towel. So I remove the wing tips and I remove excess skin and I remove the wishbone. I found removing the wishbone very difficult and it took a lot of my strength. Parting the chicken was not fun for me. I did not enjoy this process and I'm not sure I will repeat it anytime soon. I cut at the joint of the leg. I pop the hip joint and then I slice through the rest of the meat for the leg. I do the same thing at the wing. I find the joint, put a slice in, pop the joint, and then cut it through the rest of the way. I will further cut down those two pieces, the leg and the wing, later. I use some shears to cut out the spine. You can also just cut directly down through the ribs to slice the spine from the sternum. For the sternum, I just broke it and then I cut the rest of the sternum away from the chicken breast along with any excess ribs because I just don't like bones in my chicken breast. I remember to cut the drumstick from the flat wing and the thigh from the leg. I also remove the skin. I take 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of coarse kosher salt, about a half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And I whisk that together until homogeneous. Now I generously flour each piece of chicken, so I ended up with 2 breasts, 2 legs, 2 chicken thighs, 2 drumsticks, and 2 wings. I take a 12-inch skillet and heat it over medium-high heat and add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter and about 2 to 3 tablespoons of canola oil and let that get hot and melted. Once it is hot, I add in the chicken and I want it to be nice and crispy and brown. And that took about 5 to 7 minutes on each side for it to get a really nice color and a nice crispiness to the exterior. So after about 5 to 7 minutes, I flip the chicken so both sides can brown. And once everything is a nice beautiful color, I remove it and put it on a cooling rack. I don't want to cook it all the way through because it's going to cook in a sauce shortly for a significant amount of time. I add the onion into the remaining of the pan drippings. And I also add the mushrooms in and let them cook until they start to soften. It takes about 5 minutes. I then add 3/4 of a cup of dry white wine, so I use pinot grigio to deglaze the pan. Then I add 2 cups of chicken stock. I return the chicken to the pan and I'm also bringing the sauce up to a boil. I'm going to let this sauce cook for 1 hour. Every so often I stir the sauce, I flip the chicken so each side is cooked evenly, and I'm doing this over low to medium low heat. After 1 hour, I remove the meat and place it again on a cooling rack. and I'm going to further reduce the sauce. So I bring it up to a boil again. I let it reduce over 5 to 10 minutes, and then I add in 1 cup of heavy cream and stir that until it's nice and mixed, and then I reduce that so it's thick and bubbly, and that takes another 5 to 10 minutes until it starts to thicken up. I return the chicken to the pan to let it heat through again, and that takes about 5-ish minutes or so. I paired this with some mashed potatoes. You can also pair it with rice or honestly whatever you think would taste great. And I add some chicken on top of the potatoes. I get some of the sauce with the mushroom, with the onions. And I top it with some freshly minced parsley. And that's chicken fricassee. Thanks for joining me today. I make new videos on cooking every Wednesday. Please support me on Patreon and on Facebook at Mirabella's Kitchen.